Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. My name is DFree. Here today, we're talking about the information pertaining to the new units that are coming to Dragon Ball Legends that came out recently via the V-Jump. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe, of course, if you are new to the channel for more content, as well as that bell notification icon if you're new or old already on the channel, so you guys don't miss anything that I upload here on the channel. So let me know in the comment section down below how you guys feel about what's coming. Will you be summoning? Will you not? And on top of that, though, today's video, if you enjoy the content, is 1,200 likes. It does help out my channel as well with the videos and helping them rank higher in YouTube searches, so you guys can, so more people can basically find the videos and more people enjoy the game. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing I want to mention is we're going to read Goresh's translation, and I'll talk about some common stuff that I get asked a little bit. So huge shout out to my friend Goresh here. Cooler does more damage in movies or Lineage of Evil allies or defeated. We'll talk about that in a moment. Frieza also has a super powerful buff when fighting Saiyans. Super powerful, huh? When fighting Saiyans, and does more damage versus Goku when transformed. I think the bottom part is about Buchigiri match. Okay, so they hate on Goku a lot. So there's that. And yes, this is what we're working with. A transforming, shout out to DBS Hype here, a transforming Cooler and Frieza. The opposing art here. This untransformed opposing art, look at this. Look at this man. Look at that. And then we come down here, Frieza's doing the same thing. If I have to, you see Frieza. He's doing the same thing, man. That's clean. I love it. I love it. That's so awesome. And then they're doing the same thing here, post-transformation, pretty much. I'll be a little bit of a different pose. So, common question is, what type of banner is this and when is it coming out? If you have not already understood how they handle the V-Jump scans, they are 99% guaranteed to be Ultra Space Time Summon banners. So no, this is not our next step up. No, this is not what a lot of us were looking forward to. No, this is not even the next banner coming to the game. This is coming ideally in a couple of weeks. The next week should finally be what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks thinking we'd get. Because they actually haven't dropped new units in like 3 weeks, something like that. So next week should finally be what we've been looking for. And then the next week after that should be the release of this banner. They update every Tuesday. That's when we get new events in the game. That reset on Tuesday. Some people, again, that'll be Wednesday. So this is not going to be next, like in a few days. It's going to be probably the following week. If not, it'll be honestly at latest the following week after that. So that's generally how they handle the V-Jump scans. They're only Ultra Space Time summons, which are the banners where everybody gets 14 tickets to do 2 summons. Of course, your 2 7-ticket summons. You can get those from logging in and mission rewards. Currently, the adventure rewards are how you're getting those other tickets, so make sure you're doing that. So it's similar to the Gohan and Bojack banner. It is not anything other than that, like a Legends Rising or a Step Up. Again, every time. Okay, I get asked this a lot. Every time you see these, just assume it's going to be an Ultra Space Time summon banner. And then when Ultra Space Time Summon banners come up, they're generally popping up a week or 2 before the pre-existing Ultra Space Time Summon banner. In this case, that'd be Gohan and Bojack. Before that one expires, they generally always overlap for about a week and a half. So let's go ahead and talk about some of this stuff. So Cooler and Frieza, Goresh is in heaven right now. So there's that. This is pretty hype, pretty excited for this too. Now, let's go ahead and go back to what he was talking about, and we'll also talk a little bit about the characters themselves. Cooler does more damage when movies or Lineage of Evil allies are defeated. So he's obviously going to be on those teams. That makes the most sense. He's Cooler. It makes a lot of sense, right? So one thing I want to point out is if we go back here, I believe this was the first, correct me if I'm mistaken, I believe this V-Jump scan was the first one, at least recently anyway, where they did this color border thing around the characters, right? They had that. Bojack's is actually blue. So that actually kind of changes what I was going to say. I thought Bojack's was purple. I think in a scan that we got, it looked purple. So never mind, I'm going to take it back what I was going to say. I was going to say that they have color borders here, and these could very well be their colors, and it would actually make sense if this Cooler was purple, because he'd be able to color counter the pre-existing Final Form Cooler who's blue, and then this Golden Frieza being yellow would be able to color counter the green Frieza that we currently have. Obviously, you don't really want another yellow, but it's not like they'll never get another yellow again, right? Full Power Frieza will still be relevant, so there's that. So we can see what happens, but regardless, though, that's something that I think is actually pretty likely with what we have pre-existing. Again, a green unit would be weak to a purple unit, so a yellow would shore that deficiency. Same thing here. this guy would be weak to green, and then a purple would be able to shore that deficiency if they really just want to be cheesy like that. And again, it doesn't really mean you can't run other units, because I know that's what a lot of people will be concerned about. And it's not like they'll never get another yellow other than full power Frieza later on. But yeah, so movie teams in Lineage of Evil. I think his most relevant team would be Lineage. And this team is actually really interesting because they have some really good top-end units. These three are really good. Like, these three right here are really, really good. And then the rest of them are kind of either decent or just kind of meh. But Final Form Cooler is about the oldest one in the bunch, I think. I think he is the oldest one for sure. And he has one thing, or a couple of things in particular, that keep him relevant, but one thing especially, and that's the ability to constantly applies the buffs to the allies. So when he switches out, he gives them a crit rate bonus and a damage bonus. This is actually really good. Not to mention he himself is good. He has the ultimate, he has blast armor. He's a really good unit that aged very, very well, especially as the meta has evolved and allowed for more Lineage of Evil allies for him. So what I'm trying to say is these units are going to be in a weird spot because you could find this team in a situation where their best setup is like that older Cooler and like maybe this new Cooler and then like maybe this new Frieza, but then what happens to full power Frieza and Golden Frieza? Obviously they'd still be on the team. Do they just become units that you use in spots? Are they part of your main core? Are they mainly bench units? At that point, what happens, right? That's kind of the issue with getting a couple of units at the same time like this. Now, it's not me complaining at all. It's just food for thought, right? And maybe Final Form Cooler is the guy that gets bounced. Maybe one of those other Coolers is able to satiate that need a good bit. And these guys have different play styles here anyway. So we'll see what happens with that. It's something worth consideration. But it's obviously a good thing to have as a problem, right? More problems is always good. Well, problems like that, you know what I'm saying? More problems is not always good. More problems is not good, but more options is always good. Excuse me. Good problems to have right there. So other than that, though, we're going to come back over here. If we look at it from the perspective of movies, and forgive me if I'm stumbling over my words. It's like 2 in the morning. I'm tired as hell. Movies. They've got a ton of buffs. They even have a handful of last man standing type units. They also have units like Zangia that are really good when they're KO'd. Like, Movies all of a sudden is like, Movies was always that team that needed to borrow fighters from like other teams. Like, oh, you want to use Movies? Maybe you can make it work as a blue if your best blue is Gogeta. Well, he's a fusion fighter, right? He buffs that tag. You know, they were always that team that did stuff like that. Well, Movies has, you know, guys like this Goten, who's one of the better characters here, but he's a Sun Family buffer. Regardless of the fact you could build a full Sun Family Movies team. Like, it's always been that. But they've been, as you see, buffing it. They gave another movie buffer, another one here. All of a sudden, we're picking that up. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cooler actually double buffs Lineage and Movies, just like Metal Cooler, I believe, does that too. Albeit for a better stat, I imagine, with the new Cooler. So I do think, though, that Lineage is probably just going to be his best, most cohesive team, but he would fit very well here with the options this team is now all of a sudden picking up and what they have. Like, they have some really top-end units that recently came out for this group of characters, so there's that. And also, if he doesn't compete with colors for any of these 3 units, they're going to be in a really good spot. So, man, Broly, bro. Broly's okay still. He's still okay, but he has definitely aged. He was so ahead of his time, it's not even funny. I ran into a Broly recently. I was just like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, he doesn't output the damage or tank as well as he did back in that meta. The game has evolved a lot, and he's running around a little bit more now, and I'm happy for that. Some people are really successful with Broly, not a knock on him. He's just aged a little bit. That happens to every unit. Golden Frieza. Let's talk about Golden Frieza. So, this is going to be funny. Super powerful buff when fighting Saiyans, so that's good. He's going to shred Saiyans. This freaking team hates Saiyans, which makes sense. But, like, they literally have these anti-Saiyan buffs, man, all over the place. Plus 30% damage inflicted to Saiyans. Can't be canceled. They have a lot of stuff like that. And they're going to completely annihilate these Saiyan-laden teams, man. But not only that, he's another character that's doing this hating on Goku thing. Broly does it. Who does it? 13 does it, I believe. There's another character doing the hating on Goku thing. And so the thing about that, that's actually really good, is that like any Goku that ever comes out, that character will always be in a position of advantage versus, right? And not to mention, the buffs could potentially stack versus Goku. Versus Saiyan and more damage versus Goku could stack. He could be in a situation where he literally kills any Goku, like in a combo. Maybe 2 combos max, but he should be able to beat any Goku in the game, right? especially if he has type advantage. He's going to get them in one combo. So he is going to be incredibly powerful. And again, Lineage is the team that has, they don't have a ton of options. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have like a crazy amount of options. And half of their tag boosters are not all that. But all of a sudden, picking up 2 units will vault them all the way back to the like the very, very top of the meta, I think. And I think they were still somewhere in that mix of being a top team. I don't see them that often personally. I think they're still in that mix, but this like definitely vaults them towards the top of that list. And I can say that before seeing what these units do, simply because a lot of units that come out into this game like this are busted, man. A lot of them are really good. Now, we definitely do have this thing where it's important not to overreact, especially when we get the information, which again is a couple of weeks away, and we definitely need to see the units in action on the team. So you probably don't want to be too preemptive, right? But still, this is going to be very impactful for that team because they are, again, lacking options. Like, their best overall build, funnily enough, is actually a cross between Lineage and oftentimes FRIEZA Force as a secondary buffing tag. And you use some of the characters from both groups, right? And then you have a lot more options when you do that. So let me know what you guys think. Nothing else really is happening here. I don't know if they're adding Beerus and Gohan to the Ultra Space Time. He didn't really translate this. That'd be really cool. But yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe if you were new. And I'll catch all of you guys in the next Dragon Ball Legends video. Take it easy, everybody.